In this video, I want to share that your relationships are not failing because of others. They're failing because of unresolved parts of you. Now, what does that mean? Many people actually, when their relationships are failing, they're blaming other people, which I'll talk about at the end of this video. What I want to talk about first and foremost is the unresolved parts of you, or the unrealized parts of you, or not even knowing yourself in many different kinds of ways. I see many relationships failing specifically for one reason is that people have incompatible values. Now, what I mean by that is also, let me go back here. I've taught identity for many years. And the more aligned the values, the stronger the relationship. The more malaligned the values, the weaker the relationship. Let me give you a real world tangible example. Right now in the United States, we have two very conflicted political parties, and they are at odds. I mean, very much at odds with each other. You have the right side of the aisle and the fundamentally conservative and the conservative. Look at their values. And then you have the left side of the aisle and then look at their values. Their values are incompatible. And because their values are incompatible, what happens? There is the disparity, the chasm, the divide in the political parties. See, the same thing plays out in your personal life. Is one person might value, I'm just going to give you a lot of real life examples here. One person might value money a whole lot. The other person might not value it very much at all. One person, one of my friends right now, he literally is an extraordinarily humble, very down to earth kind of guy. He's just a really good guy. But his wife, she values social prestige. She values notoriety. She values professional accolades. So they've had some challenges in the relationship because they're living from different values. And the relationship isn't failing completely, but it's very challenged because they're living from conflicting values. Family members of mine, they live in a very beautiful part of the United States. Now, my brother-in-law, and this particular, people I'm talking about, my brother-in-law, he literally is an introvert. He loves just hanging out with his wife, my sister-in-law, and he just loves the solitude of where they live. Very peaceful place in the United States, very beautiful. He loves the solitude. It's a small town, and he just adores going there. They spend half their year on the East Coast, and the other part of their year, whatever amount of months, at their vacation home out in the mountains. Now, he values the solitude. He values the peace. She values her friends. She's very friends oriented, they're very relationship oriented. So, because they live in a very isolated place, their vacation home, she's not as happy. Now, I don't think this is causing any conflict in the relationship, but I'm giving you different examples here. I don't think it, causes any problems, as I'm saying, but she literally just doesn't value what he values in the location of where their vacation home is. So when you're having challenges in your relationship, 9 times out of 10, it's because you're not sharing consistent values. Remember what I said earlier is that the further apart your values, the bigger chasm in the relationship. So to transform your relationship, what you want to be doing is you want to be talking to your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, about what are the highest value things to you in the relationship. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of things to work from here. Number one could be, is my partner and I, we've been together 23 years. We have many foundational compatible values. But when it comes, for example, to, let's say, clutter, neither of us are fans of clutter, okay? But my partner has a higher value that the kitchen be spotless and spick and span at bedtime. I mean, no dishes on the counter, everything in the dishwasher, everything put away, no dishes in the dish rack, everything nice and neat, very streamlined. That's my partner's values. My values, on the other hand, are okay as long as it's clean and there's not a lot of junk and clutter everywhere. Maybe there's a glass on the counter, maybe a single dish in the sink. I don't care. I don't care. So, what I want to point out is many people fight about stuff like this, but what they're really fighting about and they get angry about upset about, frustrated about, whatever it might be, it's because they're living from different value systems. So, talk to your partner about their values. What do they value most about things that you value highly? And ask them, you could say, I value physical touch, the love languages. I value physical touch. Maybe that's a high value of yours because that's your love language. But maybe your partner doesn't value it like you do because maybe their love language might be words of affection or show of affection or whatever it's called. Well, guess what? If you're not giving your partner their love language value, which is probably their highest value, now again, you've got a chasm in the relationship. The relationship may be failing because you're not meeting your partner's highest values. I think back many years ago to when I lived in New York City. And, he's still famous today. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know anything about him, but Jerry Seinfeld. And back when I lived in New York in the 1990s, Jerry Seinfeld was the number one TV, show on TV. And there was some guy on the radio. I think I was listening to Howard Stern one day, and some New York rich guy, whatever. I heard him say this. I was walking to work one day, whatever. I was probably listening to Stern, somewhere like that, something like that. And the guy said, quote, Jerry Seinfeld stole my wife. What he said verbatim, Jerry Seinfeld stole my wife. And if I'm not mistaken, Jerry Seinfeld probably is with it or maybe with that woman today, many years later. And my first thought was, no, he didn't steal your wife. You couldn't give your wife what she needed. Now, that could be emotional support, it could be sex, it could be love, it could be affection, it could be money, it can be many different things. But whatever she valued highly, he wasn't giving it to her. Because if he was giving it to her, she never would have strayed and met Jerry Seinfeld, who apparently could give her whatever she needed in the relationship that her husband couldn't give her. So, did Jerry Seinfeld steal the relationship? No, he didn't. He just offered different and higher values in the relationship. So, if your relationship is struggling, again, what you want to look at is what are the highest values of your partner? What are your highest values of you? How do you meet your partner's highest values? How does your partner meet your highest values? Do you communicate about these values? Are you vulnerable? Are you open? Do you share what it is you need? And it can be many different things. And it can even be, I'd mentioned earlier about sex. Maybe one partner wants more explorative sex, a different kind of sex. Maybe they've got particular things they like in the bedroom. And if that's a high value to you, but your partner doesn't bring it to you, that's going to literally create a bit of a chasm in the relationship. So then we get into troubles in relationships because many of us, many, and I mean many of us, what we do when we're not getting our values met, we get angry and we get resentful. And this creates a bigger chasm in the relationship. Now, because we're angry and resentful, we get shorter with our partner. We get less tolerant with our partner. We don't laugh at their jokes anymore. We don't cuddle up. We don't kiss good morning. We don't say hello. We don't say goodbye when you go to work. Why? Because you're in resentment, but you're in resentment because you're not getting your highest values met. So, for the third or fourth time, if you want to actually create a stronger relationship, it's not about what I was saying earlier. It's the relationship is not falling apart or failing or having challenges because of other people. It's because you haven't shared your values with them and they haven't shared their deep values with you. And then you guys haven't figured out ways to make your values work together and to give each other the values that they need to fulfill in the relationship. I had a friend of mine many years ago talking of values. Values are also needs. A friend of mine many years ago, he's also a professional speaker, said, and this is a very powerful phrase, and the fact that 60% of men and 40% of women have extramarital affairs proves this. Unmet needs in a relationship will get met. Unmet needs in a relationship will get met. So if one partner's need is, and it's a high value, for emotional closeness, but the other partner believes that it's about giving them money, they're not getting the emotional closeness. They're not getting what they need. And guess what's going to happen? Just like Jerry Seinfeld earlier, and that guy in New York, the partner's going to wander. Why? Because their needs are their values. And if they're not having their values met, they're going to wander away and you're going to have a very challenging relationship. So if you like this training, do me a favor, please hit the like and subscribe button. As well, if you want more and additional training from me and interaction with me personally, go to my app. It's free, jimfortin.com/app, jimfortin.com/app. Join the free app. Again, you'll find free training in there, and I do interact in that group as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you over on another video. Bye-bye.